So when it comes to the idea of placating human beings and letting them think that they are the most intelligent things that exist on this planet, everything pretty much balks and hesitates and always pretty much pretends like, look, I'm a dumb monkey, or look, I'm a dumb tree, or look, I'm just a dumb dog. Thing is, there's nothing dumb about these things at all. All of this stuff is intelligence. Take a look. Okay, it decides to move. I'm recognizing its intelligence. I'm recognizing it for everything that it is and what it's worth. Giving out love and attention to it. And so I receive that back. And that comes in way of energy. This little thing doesn't have to be moving. A lot of people say, oh, well, it's just the natural wind. Folks, wind in of itself is consciousness and intelligence. There's no such thing as just the wind, and I've talked about this before. Okay, so as you can see, we've got deadness, right? Everything is pretty much not moving. So, one of the things that we want to do, see this? Is first introduce your own energy to whatever it is you're working with. Just like I just introduced myself to the tree. Okay, so now I'm working with this particular thing here. This of itself, this is compressed energy just like anything else. This. Okay, so any energy that I make go through it, well, that's floating ambient energy. Okay, this is what we would consider, even though it's not what we don't consider to be alive, because it is still composed and is fashioned of material. It's still compressed energy, and regardless if it's in the form of energy, it still has intelligence. So you might as well understand that even when you're working with inanimate objects and you're doing telekinesis, that you still want to introduce yourself to the object. Okay, so now, talked about this before, you want to work with specifics. Now, to a lot of people, it's great to be able to move these things fast, spin them around, and do everything at will. But when it comes to really understanding how energy works, we're going to be working in slower and lower volumes. Everyone wants to be able to blast, but you kind of got to walk before you run. Everyone wants to be able to make things go completely crazy because what they're trying to do is demonstrate power. The idea of power is an illusion because the universe is the only thing that owns the power. And because you're in the universe, you're within it, part of it, therefore you're just a small node. The universe is the functioning thing, the functioning entity which is thinking for everything. We've got certain projection areas like, the sun. The sun projects a lot of the intelligence down here as well, okay? But you have to realize what you're inside of, okay? Once you really understand what it is you're working with, then it becomes a much easier scenario where you can dial the energy at will. So again, we're looking at an introduction of your energy to the object or whatever it is you're working with. You want to all the time test. So if I walk up or if I walk away, is this going to do something different as a result? If I walk up to it and I start playing with it, does it do something different as a result? If I walk up and I do something here, does it do something different as a result? Do I get different behaviors? So, a good specialist and a good practitioner is always going to be testing themselves and doing experiments to make sure that when they introduce their energy to the object, that something is actually occurring every time, and it's tangible. It's something that can be seen, okay? So if I'm putting my hand up here, am I getting a result? If I reintroduce my energy here, am I pulling a result? Now, really good practitioners, they start going for specific details. So I want you to see how this is behaving as a result of the new actions that I'm taking upon it, okay? You ask, do I mean to do that? Well, you can clearly see me going from the back like this and then pushing forward, and as I push to it, it's actually turning it, right? We can see that. Okay? So I just spun it right around to look at you. I used the flag off the back, and then I merely directed the energy that I was sitting there bringing up, okay? Same energy that if I point to this or point to this, that I get results from, right? Now, let's go to this other side. We're going to go to the front of it. See this? So every single time that I present my energy and I'm walking around with it, okay, we're getting different results. So these are the things that you really need to look at. If you're going to be a serious energetic practitioner, you want to make as many experiments as humanly possible, okay? You want to be able to show that if I introduce my energy and I'm making motions, that these motions are actually causing things to occur. That you're not just waiting on wind to show up all on its own. That you're actually a part of the directory process that is making it occur. Take a look. Okay, see that? You gotta ask yourself, why would that keep going around? If I come on to this side like this, see, look. If I decide to go this way, or if I decide to go this way, this is reacting accordingly. If I come up here, now these are flow motions that you could pretty much stand out to doing like stuff like Tai Chi. Things that create circular motion or movements that are flow oriented. Okay, again, so if I'm taking my energy, and if you know anything about aerodynamics, this will make things very easy for you, okay? Obviously, you point one direction, you're intending for this part of the flag to get hit, right? Or if you're intending for this part of the flag to get hit. Or if you're wanting this to move instead of the flag itself. Okay, once you start doing those things, then you can start accelerating the amount of energy that comes into them, and then once you do it, then you'll see the responses that come from your movements and your actions.